What is up, everybody? It's me again. It's JT Dangerous. I'm about to do my Week 1 NFL picks. I will be doing these each week from this week all the way to Super Bowl 51. So I hope the audience enjoys it. Now I'm going to start with the first matchup on Thursday Night Football. The Carolina Panthers against the Denver Broncos. Now this is a rematch of last year's Super Bowl with Peyton Manning winning and riding off to the sunset, retiring, maybe riding a Bronco. Just, this team in the AFC West that's gonna kind of lose his luster and always winning that division, because I think it's like you'll hear me talk about the other teams in the West, but I think Denver's gonna have the toughest time winning the West this season for sure. And then you have the Carolina Panthers in the South. I mean, the legitimate always winning the Souths with Cam Newton, Kelvin Benjamin coming back, Greg Olsen, Luke Kuechly on defense. Just have a lot of talent right there. So I am going to take the Carolina Panthers to win this matchup, because the quarterback Denver starting I have no clue who he is. But knowing them, they're going to go with him for a couple, and then they're going to go with Mark Sanchez. So something like that. So Carolina will beat Denver. Now the Sunday slate. The Oakland Raiders against the New Orleans Saints. Now you have the Oakland Raiders in the AFC West. Now, being from California, there's like three teams people love in California: the 49ers, the Raiders, and the Cowboys. And there's a lot of Raider fans out there, and those representing the silver and black. But I think this is their best chance to actually do something this season, because look what they have. They have AC and DC. And if you don't know who that is, then it's not the Rock Group. It's Amari Cooper and Derek Carr. It's like the 1-2 punch they needed. They have Latavius Murray. They have other talents around them. So don't be surprised. This is going to be one of the three teams that are going to do good this season in the AFC West. Now you have the New Orleans Saints in the South, NFC South. Now this one, I don't think the Saints don't have enough to catch up to Carolina, because it's just Drew Brees and Mark Ingram and Willie Snead, and they have talent around them, but it's nowhere near the talent Carolina or Atlanta or Tampa Bay have. So I am going to go with the Oakland Raiders to beat New Orleans. Now the next matchup, the Philadelphia Eagles against the Cleveland Browns. Now, if you haven't heard, they traded Sam Bradford just this morning to the Minnesota Vikings for a first-round pick in next year's draft and a fourth-round pick in 2018. So they got rid of the guy. They signed multiple. They re-signed him just to trade him. So it's been kind of an odd year for the Eagles, but don't be surprised they'll be good this season in the NFC West, because they do have the number 2 pick in the they have the number 2 pick in the NFL draft with Carson Wentz, and this offense kind of works under Carson Wentz. So who they're going to start is not going to be nowhere near what they need for Carson. They need to start Carson Wentz first. They'll start whoever they're starting, but that's the Eagles. They do the most unexpected things. That's kind of what they do. Then you have the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland finally winning a title, which is from the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think they're going to have a kind of an upside, because I know that people are definitely relieved they finally got the title, but that kind of puts a lot of pressure on. I don't think they puts a lot of pressure on the Browns, so they're going to have a good season. They have Josh Gordon, they have Duke Johnson, who came out of the U, who's a great running back. Then they have RG3. Now this whole season is going to come down to which RG3 we're going to get. Are we going to get the RG3 that was fantastic, or we're going to get the RG3 that was making stupid mistakes and getting picked every time? So it's going to be it's either going to be a great season or a shitty season for Cleveland, for RG3. And this is kind of his make or break year. But in this matchup, I am taking the Philadelphia Eagles to beat Cleveland. Now, the next matchup, the Minnesota Vikings against the Tennessee Titans. Now, of course, Teddy Bridgewater getting hurt in practice tore his ACL, tore a lot of knee ligaments, so that was a huge loss for the Vikings. But again, the Vikings had to do something bold, so they gave up potential big-time picks to get Sam Bradford. And now, being an Oklahoma Sooner fan in college football, watching Sam Bradford and Adrian Peterson is great. Was amazing. And now seeing them in the NFL on the same team just makes it even so much better. And then Sam Bradford has talent around him that can help him. Kyle Rudolph, Stephon Diggs, and then you got AP. It's AP and Sam Bradford on the same team. So this was a good trade for both teams, in my opinion. And then you have the Tennessee Titans. I think Tennessee is kind of going to be that team to watch this season with Marcus Mariota. They signed Murray. Derrick Henry is going to be fantastic. The rookie that they signed, he's going to be fantastic. If you did not watch him in preseason, he was like getting 20 yards on plays. He's going to be a talent in Tennessee. But in this matchup, I am going to take the Minnesota Vikings to beat the Titans. Now, the next matchup, KC and San Diego, two teams in the West. Great. These are the three teams that are going to be good in the West. Oakland, KC, San Diego for sure, thanks to Peyton Manning leaving. And now, my pick, I am going to take the Kansas City Chiefs over San Diego because I think they have a lot more talent around them. Other than that, that's my pick. Okay, the next matchup, the Cincinnati Bengals against the New York Jets. Now, the Bengals, of course, being in the South, and the Jets being part of my Patriots East. Bengals are going to be fantastic. I think they're going to do good. They have A.J. Green, they have Marvin Jones, they have Giovanni Bernard, they have Jeremy Hill, they have Andy Dalton, the Big Red Machine. Then you have the Jets, who have talent, but honestly, I don't know a lot about the Jets other than they have Geno and they have Decker, and that's about it. But in this matchup, I'm taking the Cincinnati Bengals to beat the Jets. Now, the AFC South matchup, the Atlanta Falcons against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, Atlanta's going to be another good team in the South. I think three teams are going to be contention this year in the South. It's going to be the Panthers. It's going to be Carolina, Atlanta, and Tampa Bay because they're all good teams. No offense to the Saints there. You have Devontae Freeman, fantastic running back. Matty Ice, Matt Ryan. You got Julio Jones. You got another, just like Amari Cooper, talent with Julio. Then you have Tampa with Jameis Winston, Dougie Martin, Chris Sims. Their backup running back who is great. Austin Stephon Jenkins. You got Mike Evans out of A&M who was talent. You got Vincent Jackson, the veterans. So don't watch out for Tampa this season. But in this matchup, I'm taking the Atlanta Falcons over Tampa Bay. Now, the next matchup, the Buffalo Bills against the Baltimore Ravens. Buffalo Bills, of course, in the Patriots AFC East. It's going to be very, they've always been consistent. The Bills have always been a fantastic, consistent team. And then you have the Ravens, of course, being always in the playoff position all the time. But in my opinion, I think I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills in this matchup because it's going to be a new coach from Rex Ryan. I think he's going to do a good job, honestly. So Buffalo will beat Baltimore. Now the next matchup, the Houston Texans against the Chicago Bears. Now the Houston Texans, of course, with Coach Bill O'Brien out of Penn State. They got J.J. Watt, Jadeveon Clowney, DeAndre Hopkins. So they're going to be a good team. And then you have the Chicago Bears, kind of the team I think are kind of they sold a lot of pieces, but they're kind of a rebuilding team because the Bears are not going to live. The Bears are not going to be kind of a contender like it's going to be with Minnesota and Green Bay. So, in my opinion, I am going to take the Houston Texans to beat the Bears. Now, the next matchup, the Green Bay Packers against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, of course, Green Bay from the NFC North. Legitimately looks like they're going to win. It's either going to be between the Packers and Vikings this season. Who's going to win the North? But it usually is the Packers with Jordy Nelson, Eddie Lacy, James Starks, and Aaron Rodgers. Then you have the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are another team. A lot of people are hoping they do good. They have Blake Bortles, they have T.J. Yeldon, Allen Robinson. They have a lot of talent around them. But again, in this matchup, I am going to take the Green Bay Packers to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, in the next matchup, the Seattle Seahawks against the Miami Dolphins. Now, Seattle, of course, being in the NFC West. and the Miami Dolphins being the Patriots NFC East. Now, Seattle is a fantastic. I think Seattle is gonna win this division over Arizona. In my honest opinion, it's like a bold prediction there, because they have the talent. They have Russell Wilson. They have Thomas Rawls taking over from beast mode Marshawn Lynch. They have Javon Curse. They have Dougie Baldwin, Luke Wilson, Jimmy Golden Grahams. And they got the Legion of Boom, of course. And then you have the Miami Dolphins, who are always a threat in the East with the Patriots, with Tannehill. They signed Arian Foster, Jay Ajayi, who's going to be a great running back, Devontae Parker, and Ndamukong Suh on defense. You got talent. Two talent teams. But in my opinion, I'm taking the Seattle Seahawks to win this matchup. Now, the next matchup, the Indianapolis Colts against the Detroit Lions. Now, the Colts, again, I think they are going to win their division. It looks like they're going to win their division because they have talent. And then you have the Detroit Lions without Calvin Johnson. So it's Starscream running the Decepticons without Megatron. So I think if you watch Transformers, it works sometimes, but it doesn't work every time. So in this matchup, I am going to take the Indianapolis Colts to beat the Lions. Now the NFC East matchup, the Dallas Cowboys against the Giants. Now, of course, Tony Romo is hurt, so he's not going to be playing for 6 to 10 weeks. And they're going to go with the rookie out of Mississippi State. And if you've not watched him at Mississippi State in college, he is fantastic, and that's Dak Prescott. It's the Prescott time in Dallas. And then we'll look at the team he has around him. So he can do pretty well. And then you have the Giants without Tom Coughlin, so it's a new coach, but it's the same great Giants team. In that division, I am going to take, in the NFC East, I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys to win that division. I think they can get it done, honestly. And I am going to take them to win this matchup. So Dallas will beat the Giants. Now the Sunday night matchup, my New England Patriots against the Arizona Cardinals. Now, this is going to be the first of 4 games without Tom Brady and Rob Ninkovich, so it's going to be kind of tough. But I think they're going to persevere, of course, with Jimmy Garoppolo and the talent around them. Then you have the Arizona Cardinals in the same division as the Seattle Seahawks. They have a lot of talent. Great team. Threat every year in the West. But in my opinion, I am going to take the New England Patriots to win this matchup. Now, the 2 Monday night games playing on the same night as a Monday Night Raw, so I will be going back and forth on these games, being the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Washington Redskins. Now, you got Pittsburgh without Le'Veon Bell for 3 games, but you got talent. You got Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, the number 1 draft pick in fantasy leagues, Antonio Brown. If you play fantasy, Antonio Brown, you have to draft first. Draft him first. And then you have the Washington Redskins, who I think are going to be another threat in the NFC East, because with Kirk Cousins and DeAndre Jackson, like Matt Jones is running back. But in this matchup, I am going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers to win. Now, the final matchup on this Monday slate, the Los Angeles Rams against the San Francisco 49ers. Now, with the Rams leaving St. Louis and heading back to LA, it's a good move. It's going to be very interesting to watch it this season with Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley, Jeff Fisher coaching. You got talent. You got talent around them. Then you have the San Francisco 49ers. I think a team that feels like it's a rebuilding team. With the whole Colin Kaepernick thing, which I have no problem, with the whole him, and then you have Chip Kelly. Thank God he left Philly. I know Philly fans are going to like to hear that. But they have a great team around them. So, but in this matchup, I am going to take the Rams to beat the 49ers. So those were my Week 1 picks. I hope you enjoyed. Tell me, comment below, who do you think is going to win. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.